We're going to get to the spot where we can all talk about this. 49er quarterback, and people are not going to put their dukes up. People are not going to start accusing. Like, here it is on Twitter. Here it is on Twitter right now. It's literally day 3, and the kid has barely had any reps. He was looking great all offseason. Oh, he was? You followed him? You went with him? Or did you see a video of him throwing a football on Twitter and you got mesmerized? Back to the tweet. Stop the overreacting, my heck. No, it's not literally day 3. It's literally year 3. And if you think that him missing short throws on out routes is new, I refer you to any 49er beat reporter who is actually watching. I'm not making up that Trey Lance is having accuracy problems. Point it at me all you want. I'm not making this up.
Well, I'm not blaming you.
I didn't do this.
No.
Kyle Shanahan didn't do this. North Dakota State didn't do this. Nobody did this. He is having consistent accuracy problems. You may rip the Niners for trading for him and drafting him. Go right ahead. Outside of that, I have no idea where you want to point the fingers with regard to the fact that he's having a hard time making some of the more simple NFL throws. That's what it is.
Yes, I would point the finger in part at the team that is responsible for coaching him up. And if your job is to coach a player, part of your job is to improve a player. Now, maybe Trey Lance is beyond improvability, and Trey Lance certainly has worked on his mechanics on his own in the offseason, and I know that teams are limited in the time that they can spend with these players based on the collective bargaining agreement and all the rest of that, but to me, part of being a coach is improving the players that you are coaching, and if he's not getting better, a lot of that falls on Trey Lance, but to me, some responsibility falls on the coaches whose job is to coach him.
I think that they feel like they have, or else they'd still be giving him valuable reps that they are now giving to other people.
Well, here's the breakdown from Matt Mayoko.
Yeah.
This is from a tweet about 2 minutes ago. Practice reps these past 2 days, which includes Brock Purdy being back. In the 4-quarterback era, Brock Purdy, 41.6%. Trey Lance, 21.8%. Sam Darnold, 18.8%. Brandon Allen, 17.8%. That feels to me like QB1 is getting 42%, which is about 4 of every 10. And then Trey's getting 2 of 10. Sam's getting 2 of 10. And Brandon's getting about 2 of 10. That feels to me like it's QB1 and then QB.
And a bucket. Exactly.
And a bucket.
A bucket of other QBs.
Bucket.
All right.
No, you're right. It's 3 to make 2.
We said bucket enough times that Grandy got twitchy in there.
He's getting a little annoyed.
Yeah.
Shout out Casey Schmidt and the other bombs. But
maybe we'll blame Mahomes. He worked with Mahomes all summer. Apparently still didn't get accurate enough. So Patrick,
Mahomes intentionally sabotaged his mechanics.
His fault. He couldn't do it either.
We're going to teach Trey Lance how to not throw the ball. That'll show those Niners that I already own.
Yeah. I don't find no. Yeah, blame.
No, the majority of the blame goes to the player, but I do think that there is some responsibility of a team to improve their players.
I agree
with that.
That's
all I'm saying.
I agree with that, and I bet that they would tell you that he has. You know, the players are all saying that. I know they have to, but I think he probably has. It doesn't matter if he gets better. It matters if he gets good enough.
Good point.
So
he could go from a 3 to a 5 in accuracy, and it's like, hey, he's better.
Not enough.
But you need him to be a 9.
Not enough.
Yeah.
TK is going to join us here in about 25 minutes. Make sure you're listening 7 minutes from now for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party, August 5th and 6th at Chase Center, courtesy of the Golden State Warriors. We'll give you the number. We'll set it all up for you 7 minutes from now. Be listening, and we will give that 4-pack away. Let's go to Brian in Hayward here with Willard and Dibs. Hey, Brian, what are you doing?
Well, first of all, it's Ryan, no me. But
Oh, sorry, bud.
Hey, real quick. Hey, first and foremost, Dibs, what's up, bro? It might be a stretch
What's going on?
for you. It's been a while, man. But this is your boy from the Englander, and I miss you guys, man, wholeheartedly.
I miss the Englander, if I may, just briefly. The Englander, one of the great sports bars in San Leandro. 80 beers on tap. Unfortunately, it's closed.
Oh,
Yeah, you can blame the landlord for that one. He did that.
No doubt.
He did that.
Yeah.
I blame Shanahan. I don't know about you, Ryan.
Shanahan got the Englander hurt.
I blame Shanahan and Steve Kerr a little bit too.
Nice.
Hey, just a little bit, right? Hey, I just want to look. I'm by no means a Niner fan whatsoever, right? But Dibs, you kind of took my thunder on what I'm calling about, and I want to address this to every listener out there that's listening right now. Stop talking about Trey not getting opportunity. He got the opportunity when he got drafted, right?
Yep.
That's it. That's all. Now, what you do with it is what you do with it. And if you the bed, then you the bed. And plain and simple, if he was the dude that everyone thinks he is or wants him to be, he'd be out there playing. We wouldn't be talking about who's going to take his spot and this, that, and the other. So chill out with the opportunity thing. He got his opportunity. He ain't doing nothing with it, and it's heir apparent.
Hey, Ryan, preach, brother. Thank you for the call.
Hey, Ryan, where are you drinking these days out in the Dro?
Well, actually, I'm from Hayward, but yeah, I drink whiskey. Yeah, but if I go beer, I'm drinking Altamont Maui Wowie. Love that Maui Wowie.
It said where, not what,
where.
but that's all right.
He answered a different question, but it was a good question,
I'll
too.
see you down on A Street there in
See you,
Hayward.
Ryan.
That's great.
Do you know what I was? And
the answer is everywhere, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. The answer is yes. Where are you drinking? Yep.
Yes.
Sure am. Look, I'm biased. I love my lovely Christy. This is something I say to her all the time. You know, especially ladies. A lot of times it's like, oh man, gosh, you know, does this outfit make me look fat? Or this, you know,
It's a trap.
Does my hair look like this? And I'm always like, I'm gonna look at my lovely and I go, you can't hide the hot. You can't. It doesn't matter what you do.
I'm gonna throw up.
You can't hide the hot. And now I'm going to say it to the quarterbacks.
Excuse me.
You can't.
For you in the YouTube audience, you see the trash can I'm about to hurl in. You can't hide the hot, honey.
You can't hide the hot.
Oh.
You cannot hide the hot. You can't. And I'm going to say it to Trey Lance, too.
I got to write some of this schlock down.
Hey, man. It's working.
What do you think of these pants, Dibs? You can't hide the hot.
I wouldn't say it to you.
I'm
You're hiding the hot just fine.
Okay, boy, it's this damn camera. This camera's put up short, round, and angry.
Come on.
Red pumpkin.
I'm gonna say
back to back on me.
I'm going to say, well, you
Grandy
deserved
double.
it. You tried to leave at 4:15.
Two-piece.
I'm going to say it to Trey Lance, too. You're a quarterback in the NFL. You can't hide the hot. Dude, if you got it, we'll be able to see it. You can't hide it. I love how many of you are like, well, if he just tried more, and if the 49ers, you know, if they just like, I don't know, maybe they like try giving him, more water.
Does my lack of accuracy make me look fat?
Yeah, it does. It really does.
You can't hide the slop.
Dude, if you are a stud, you can't hide it. So if it's not there, it's not there. It's not there. And you can't just keep tightening the screws and pretend like automatically is going to make you good because we picked you third. It doesn't work that way. It didn't work that way with Wiseman. It didn't work that way with Solomon Thomas. It didn't work that. It's not working that way with Trey Lance. It doesn't work that way.
Javon Kinlaw, we'll see.
We'll
Big
see.
year. He's
see.
apparently fitter and ready to go this year, healthy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. You can't hide it.
No, you do know. And you've said it. And Kyle Shanahan is telling you everything you need to know about whether or not he thinks Trey Lance is hot. You remember the old hot or not internet?
Swipe left.
Totally. Even pre-swipe. This is back in like the early 00s. It's like hot or not. And it was, pretty grotesque way to go about judging
Yep.
females based on their appearance. But in light of this quarterback situation and the hot or not category, I think Kyle Shanahan has a pretty good idea about how he feels. And I was looking at Mayoko had the numbers on the percentages today at practice, and none of them were very good. But Trey Lance was the worst of the four in terms of completion percentage in practice. And I don't love practice stats, but you just saw the snap breakdown in 11 on 11, and that tells you that it's Brock Purdy, and then it's let's see what we have from these other three.
I certainly hope nobody thinks that, I showed up today and decided to give up on Trey Lance because he had 2 bad throws. I don't care about that. I care about the fact that it seems like we've gotten that news pretty consistently for 2.5 years. I got that way because I think it is wild that Brandon Allen is getting the same number of snaps. That is the loudest thing the 49ers have said yet. You can re-sign Jimmy. You can grab Sam Darnold on day one of free agency. You can hand Brock the job while he only has one arm. And all of that was loud. The loudest thing they've done yet is give QB4 equal reps. It's all there for you. Javier in Vacaville. What's up, buddy? How are you? You're on with Willard and Dibs.
How you doing, Mr. Willard? How you doing, Mr. Dibley?
Good.
So, I'm just not in the notion to – are we in day 4 of camp? I don't see – I wouldn't say the exaggeration and the overreaction, but I'm just not going to give up on Trey Lance because he got the same number of reps in the first week of camp as Brandon Allen. Granted, he is coming off a broken ankle injury. He's 21, 22 years old, and we're like, oh, my goodness, he's got the same amount of reps as the first-string quarterback. Me being a 4-year college football player, I've seen quarterbacks get same spot reps as a third-string quarterback. But until we actually get into preseason play, we should not be over here just, this is Brock Purdy or everybody else after him will then follow suit. Okay, there's some truth to that and validity to that. But also, you need to actually consider asset management. I don't see why you'd want to get rid of him and or just let him be, he's just not it. He missed all of last year, and year one, he played decent. He got you a win against the Texans. You played okay against Arizona. And really, they should have won that game, but nonetheless, they lost, I think, due to play calling. But I just can't accept the fact that, Brock Purdy played well. Brock Purdy looks like a great potential starting quarterback. But to just call it in on Trey Lance because in the 4th day of the training camp schedule, he's getting the same amount of reps as Brandon Allen, and he's having some inconsistencies with his accuracy, from Matt Mayoko, the same one who still won't admit his wrongs and picking, my intel tells me Mac Jones will be drafted number 3 overall. And he still won't admit that he was wrong on that. He's lost a lot of credibility. A lot of people around here prefer.
Well, Javier, I don't want to get all in the weeds about taking shots at beat reporters for things that we've all said. When you talk for a living, you're going to be wrong a lot. We all are. That's fine. But again, many of you are saying this is day 3 of camp. You're forgetting it's year 3 of camp. This is his 3rd camp. And so I'm not overreacting to today. It's not about today at all. It has nothing to do with today. And a comp of what's going on at a small college with QB 1, 2, 3, or 4 is completely different than it is in the NFL. This is the number 3 overall pick in the draft. He is making millions of dollars, and they have decided to not take a longer look at him so far this week than Brandon Allen. That's a story. It is very different than what this team has done in the past. It is very different than the number of reps that Brock Purdy got last year as QB4. It is very different than what any NFL team I've ever seen has done in camp. This is not normal. If you would like to ignore it, that is your choice. You're free to do so. But it's a story. This is an abnormal way to go about your business in the NFL.
Yes, and I'm trying to look at other camps that have 4 quarterbacks to see if I can find snap count breakdowns.
Good luck.
In terms, not as many camps do it in as much detail as the Niners' great beat reporters do.
Right, because beat reporters in Arizona don't give a rip what's going on with QB4.
I'm looking at Pittsburgh, Mark, and the reports are that Kenny Pickett looks great in camp. So I'm imagining that Kenny Pickett, QB1, is getting probably about 50%, Brock Purdy got 42% today, or in the first 2 days he's been out there. He's gotten 42% of the reps at QB1. Kenny Pickett is probably in that same realm. Mitchell Trubisky, QB2, is probably getting QB2 snaps. Mason Rudolph and Tanner Morgan are probably sharing the snaps at 3, and I wonder what Tanner Morgan, QB4, would be getting as it relates to, I don't know, Brandon
QB2
Allen.
Yes.
And what the breakdown is in other camps when you have 4 guys, because here it's 42%, 20, 20, 20 among the other 3. I would imagine that in a place like Pittsburgh, where Kenny Pickett is as inexperienced as Brock Purdy for the most part, they probably want to get him as much as they can, and then Trubisky, and then the other guys get crumbs.
By the way, it's not just reps. Like you said, what's you say his name is? Tanner Morgan?
Yes, or Morgan Tanner. I got to make sure I have it right.
Whichever. He's got 2 last names. But anyway.
2 first names.
Whatever it is. How many questions at Mike Tomlin's press conference have led to Tomlin going, oh, by the way, I would just like to say that Tanner Morgan has been absolutely incredibles. We loved the heck out of him at OTAs. He has earned a ton of time here in training camp with the way that he's played. We really like him. We really do. So I wonder if Mike Tomlin's done that.
Well, here's a quote from from Mike Tomlin.
Along with the backdrop of one of Pittsburgh's 4 quarterbacks being the number 3 pick in the draft just 2 years ago.
Yeah, Tomlin loves Tanner Morgan.
I bet he does.
And his 6 years at the University of Minnesota. So
it's one of those guys.
Yeah, Tanner Morgan.
I knew a bunch of those dudes.
You
were one of those
Don't
dudes.
you point that finger at me. Get your story straight and come back and see me.
Right, was 7 years?
Did I ever go to one school for 6 years?
Probably not.
False. 2 years.
You can't answer false. It was a question.
The answer is no.
You have to make a statement for it to be false.
The question is, did I ever attend the same school for 6 years? No, I did not. 2 years of junior college, 4 junior years at Cal State Northridge,
yes.
5 years off, and then a gut check of a 3-year finish at SF State.
Right.
So I don't know the first thing about being a 6-year guy at one school.
How many reps did they give you at SF State when you got there?
Reps?
Yeah.
I got all the reps.
Okay.
In fact, I was the graduating reporter in our live broadcast as a 30-year-old with a torn ACL and a fractured wrist.
Sounds like a graduation sensation.
It was a long 3-hour broadcast. Hopped up on Vicodin and crutches. Cap and gown and crutches.
It's amazing that you don't limp more than you do right now.
Seriously.
It really is.
Let's go to Dibs. He's with Millie, our oldest graduate. Thanks, Fred. Millie, how old a woman are you? I'm 74. Me too, Millie. Back to you, Fred. Let's go to Dibs, half in the bag. Dude, I'll say half in the bag. Let's go to Dibs in the pharmaceuticals.
That's going to be you at your daughter's graduation.
74. Damn near it.
Pretty close.
Yeah, not bad.
72, right?
Yeah, I'd probably 73.
Okay.
Because she's an August baby, so we're going to go ahead and... but it's not a red shirt. Is it it's like a green shirt, or when you hold your kid back and we're putting her in kindergarten when she's...
You just call him holding her back.
Yeah.
Holding her back,
well, she would be like just about to be 5 starting or just about to be 6.
So you hold her.
We're going to hold her till she's going to be almost 6.
And that's where she'll get her volleyball scholarship then, because she'll be older than the other kids.
Well, I mean, that's part of the thinking.
That's part
and
of
if
it.
she is diminutive as she seems that she's trending toward, she could use the extra year.
Yes, she could.
Which is why, by the way, I didn't get to skip a year. I was so brilliant. My teacher said he can skip 3rd grade, and my mom said, "Have you seen this kid?" So they didn't let me skip.
No, we can't.
No.
Let's go to Dave in
Tiny.
Pleasanton. Hi, Dave. You're on with Willie and Dibby. What are you doing?
Just waiting on my order for dinner here. Yeah.
Dripping burger.
Nice little Mexican dinner. Got to get a nice burrito.
All right.
Anyways, so I'm kind of irritated with a little bit of the conversation, and here's why.
Oh, boy.
I don't know that Kyle Shanahan can get credit for developing any quarterback in the history of him being an offensive coordinator. Now, if Trey gets credit for improving, or there's credit for him improving at all, I give all credit to him. It's been said he's one of the hardest workers on the team, if not the hardest. And we see what he's doing in the offseason to get better. He left Kyle's coach and said, you know what, Kyle? I don't like this coach very much. I'm going to go take this coach. I'm going to go work with this guy. Not to mention just that, we're talking about, what did he play? Four total games.
Dave,
the monsoon.
Dave, you rolled over something there that I think is probably wildly incorrect. What did you just say? He chose to go work with someone else?
Jeff Christensen.
Yeah, you don't work with your head coach in the offseason. Like, that's not a thing.
That's not what I said. Kyle's guy.
Okay.
Kyle had Trey work with his guy last offseason.
Right.
And the offseason before. Right. And so he said, no, I'm going to go work with my own guy.
Okay.
And so that's all I'm saying. Trey has been busting his butt since day one.
No doubt.
Got to give him credit for that.
No doubt. No doubt. I mean, I think we've said it literally 100 times today. Trey's awesome in terms of his approach. I don't think anybody could fire a hole in any of that stuff with Trey Lance. But Dave, your contention is that Kyle Shanahan is what? Like, not a good offensive coach. He doesn't know quarterbacks. I just wanted to find it. What's your thought there?
So that's not my thought. I think he's an amazing offensive coordinator. I just don't think, describe this camp right now. We got 4 quarterbacks. Brandon Allen has never played well on the field. Why is he getting any reps so the other quarterbacks can't even build a rhythm? How can Trey get better with 6 reps of practice? How does that make sense?
Well,
it's more than 6, but it's a fair point. And I think that the answer to your question is as plain as the nose on your face, which is they don't have that grade of faith in Trey Lance, and they think that Brandon Allen is better than you think that Brandon Allen is.
I just like this. It's such a fair point. And
enjoy the carnitas, Dave.
Dave, you have an opinion that many share, and the only way I can answer it as somebody who doesn't coach the 49ers is they have made up their mind. You can hate that as much as you want. They've made up their mind. They took trade calls on this guy 3 months ago. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to pass this along in any other way. If we went to court and the question was 49ers are on one side and Trey Lance on the other, right? 49ers. And my job as a lawyer was to present evidence that the 49ers are not into Trey.
Bum.
That jury would be back in 30 seconds. It's the most slam dunk case of all time. You can hate that. You can feel like you see something that they don't see. They've made up their mind.
Yeah, but the case would be a little bit more elaborate than that. And if I could represent Trey Lance,
what's the evidence that they're into him? What do you have?
Oh, that they're into him?
Yeah. I'm going to present evidence that the 49ers are out.
Right.
You present evidence that the 49ers are in.
Well, they expended draft capital to bring in Trey Lance. They went out of their way to draft a guy based on what they had seen and what they had gleaned and all the rest of it. They were into Trey Lance, and they gave Trey Lance the starting job last year. They said, Trey, you're our QB1.
And then since then?
Well, since then they've had him play in practice.
Gave him a jersey.
They've let him run around and throw the pigskin a little bit here and there.